Welcome to our nightly Bible study notes where every chapter of the Bible comes to life. Whether you're a lifelong believer or just curious about the Bible, these summaries will captivate your mind and ignite your spirit. Get ready to discover the beauty, relevance, and transformative power of the scriptures, one chapter at a time. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to this evening's Bible study. 2 Chronicles 10 and 1 Kings 12 tells the story of Rehoboam coming from a line that was as powerful as David when it came to worshiping and loving God. A line that came with the wisdom of Solomon. And yet this son of Solomon became disastrous. This is a message for those of us who are serving God, to remind us of the importance of humility, the importance of being connected to God, and the importance of seeking wise counsel. Let us get into this evening's Bible study. 2 Chronicles chapter 10.
After King Solomon's death, his son Rehoboam ascends to the throne. The people of Israel, who had been subjected to heavy labor and high taxes under Solomon, come to Rehoboam at Shechem, led by Jeroboam, who had previously fled to Egypt to escape Solomon's wrath. They request that Rehoboam lighten the harsh workload and reduce the heavy taxes imposed by his father. In return, they promise to serve him faithfully. Rehoboam asks for 3 days to consider their request. During this time, he first consults the elders who had served his father Solomon. They advise him to be kind to the people, to speak good words to them, and to reduce their burdens, which would ensure their loyalty. However, Rehoboam disregards this advice and instead seeks counsel from the younger men he grew up with. These young advisors tell Rehoboam to assert his authority by increasing the people's burdens, suggesting he should say, "My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. My father laid on you a heavy yoke. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions." When Rehoboam delivers this harsh response to the people, they become outraged. The northern tribes of Israel, led by Jeroboam, rebel against Rehoboam's rule, declaring, "What portion have we in David? We have no inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Look now to your own house, David." As a result, the kingdom is divided. The northern tribes reject Rehoboam and follow Jeroboam, forming the kingdom of Israel, while Rehoboam retains control only over the tribes of Judah and Benjamin in the south, forming the kingdom of Judah. Rehoboam attempts to assert his authority by sending Adoram, the overseer of forced labor, to the rebellious tribes, but they stone him to death. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Rehoboam flees back to Jerusalem, avoiding further conflict at that moment. This chapter marks the beginning of the division of the United Kingdom of Israel into two separate entities, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah, fulfilling the prophecy made to Jeroboam by the prophet Ahijah.
2 Chronicles 10. Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone there to make him king. When Jeroboam son of Nebat heard this, he was in Egypt, where he had fled from King Solomon. He returned from Egypt. So they sent for Jeroboam, and he and all Israel went to Rehoboam and said to him, "Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten the harsh labor and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you." Rehoboam answered, "Come back to me in 3 days." So the people went away. Then King Rehoboam consulted the elders who had served his father Solomon during his lifetime. "How would you advise me to answer these people?" he asked. They replied, "If you will be kind to these people and please them and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your servants." But Rehoboam rejected the advice the elders gave him and consulted the young men who had grown up with him and were serving him. He asked them, "What is your advice? How should we answer these people who say to me, 'Lighten the yoke your father put on us'?" The young men who had grown up with him replied, "The people have said to you, 'Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but make our yoke lighter.' Now tell them, 'My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. My father laid on you a heavy yoke. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions. 3 days later, Jeroboam and all the people returned to Rehoboam as the king had said, "Come back to me in 3 days." The king answered them harshly. Rejecting the advice of the elders, he followed the advice of the young men and said, "My father made your yoke heavy. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions." So the king did not listen to the people, for this turn of events was from God, to fulfill the word the Lord had spoken to Jeroboam son of Nebat through Ahijah the Shilonite. When all Israel saw that the king refused to listen to them, they answered the king, "What share do we have in David? What part in Jesse's son? To your tents, Israel. Look after your own house, David." So all the Israelites went home. But as for the Israelites who were living in the towns of Judah, Rehoboam still ruled over them. King Rehoboam sent out Adoniram, who was in charge of forced labor, but the Israelites stoned him to death. King Rehoboam, however, managed to get into his chariot and escape to Jerusalem. So Israel has been in rebellion against the house of David to this day.
Thank you for joining us for this evening's Bible study summary. Join us tomorrow, God willing, for 2 Chronicles 11. God bless you.